Hello, this is Richard Clue again from richardclue.wordpress.com. There's 5 things the Hellbound Heart taught me about writing. Before the Hellbound Heart, I wouldn't have considered myself a horror writer. I probably would have considered myself more like a thriller or maybe even a fantasy writer. Although when I do write fantasy, I keep it much more grounded in reality than spells and stuff just kind of being tossed around. And this book kind of opened my mind a lot to horror and kind of how to do horror really well, I thought, because I feel like it's done tastefully in this story to a point where it's not like in your face horror, you know? It's to me it's like good horror, I guess, if you could call it that. It's kind of horror where it's about the characters and it's about what they go through. Like it's a horrific situation, but it's not. It almost doesn't feel like a horror story, even though it clearly is a horror story when you take a step back and look at it. And also on the cover here, this is a heart made out of people, and then there's some eyes. I always thought that cover was sweet, but it just shows like how few characters you realistically need to have a story. So there's 3 main characters in the Cenobites, and the Cenobites almost aren't characters in this because they're not in the story that long. The main monsters in the story aren't in it. This story is really a lot about people and how people can be more monstrous than even monsters sometimes. This book taught me also a lot about sexual content. So sexual content in the book, to me, I didn't think I had a place writing it. Part of that is my upbringing. Part of that is just kind of generally the way that I felt society was. But Hellbound Heart is a massively popular book. It was turned into the movie Hellraiser, and its success is because its sexual content and its graphic scenes they're done tastefully. Graphic scenes especially done tastefully. It's not gratuitous. I'm not disgusted by what I'm seeing. There's a woman sitting. I think it's a woman at least. But it's a little bit difficult to tell, just because of how mutilated the character is. But the engineer of the Cenobites, she's sitting on this throne of skulls at one point, and her pubis is mutilated, and everything's mutilated. And within the first bit of the book, you get a guy ejaculating on the floor, but it's all done in a way that, it feels right. It feels like this is what's supposed to be happening. This is the way it's supposed to be, and it doesn't feel like it's done just to disgust you, or it's just done to get your attention or shock you. It's done because it's what the story needed to happen. Like, the story legitimately couldn't happen without every instance of gore in the movie being there. It shifts characters really well, and the writing is done really well. So, I'll talk about the writing first for the verbiage. So, the verbiage of this book, I love the way it's worded. I listened to a recording of it first. I physically read the book, and then I listened to the recording again a few months after that. I like the way it's written with the way it's worded. It's smooth. It's continuous. The voice in it is just something that, to me, it speaks to me. I really love it. So in that too, the voice and the verbiage and the language of the novel, it contributes to the graphic scenes and the sexual content and the shifting character, because the content and the graphic scenes, they're not gratuitous, they're not out of place, and it's because of the voice it's written in, because it feels natural, it feels right? So the shifting character, you see it through multiple kind of views. So you start with Frank, who's kind of the guy that opens up the puzzle box, and the shifting character from him to Julia, his brother Rory's wife, who had sex with Frank before their wedding, and then kind of helps to bring Frank back together to be a full person after Frank dies and comes back from the hell realm. And like, she thinks down of her husband. She pretty much really doesn't like her husband anymore. Really likes the idea of her, what would be her brother-in-law, and kind of, like, she's probably the worst person in the story. She's worse of a person than the Cenobites. But it focuses a lot on her, and then it moves into Kirsty. And Kirsty is Rory's friend. In the movie, Kirsty is the husband, is Julia's husband, he has a different name in the movie, but it's their daughter. But still, in the book, it's shifting character, so it's a natural flow, though. So we have, it goes to Frank, and then it goes to Julia, and then it goes to Kirsty, and it kind of flips between Julia and Kirsty a little bit. But at the end, we're all Kirsty, and at the end of it, really, Kirsty's the only one that comes out of it. I guess looking back, I almost feel like Rory's left out a little bit because you don't get a lot of Rory. But Rory's pretty plain. Like, I wouldn't have liked it if there was a chapter just about Rory talking about his day, having a great time, or just talking about Rory's day and everything. Which is another great thing too about the way this character shift, because Rory is just kind of, he's there. He's the husband. Kirsty likes him, but Julia hates him. Well, Kirsty loves him. He is Kirsty's fish that got away. I really like this book. I love this book. I'm probably going to read this book again just because I was talking about this book so much. I'll turn on and listen to it in a day. Just walk around the house doing stuff. I didn't like the movie till I read this book. This book got me going really good into horror. Another really good one was Cabal, but it doesn't have it doesn't do all of this, and it doesn't do it quite as well as the Hellbound Heart. Again, this is Richard Clue from richardclue.wordpress.com. If you like this story, go ahead and give me a thumbs, or this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, or head on over to my website. I have a free ebook here. It's At the Tower of Midnight, and it's a Lovecraftian style horror story. Leave me some comments, and if you didn't like the video, tell me why, or tell me what you'd like me to do a video on in the future. Or if you want to just have a conversation, leave some comments. Thank you for watching, and you guys have a great day.